16 losses this season, 6 Premier League games without a win. Look, I know the focus is on Europa. I know we played a young squad. I know we completely rested Bruno, completely rested Mazraoui and some other players. I get that. I know that the Premier League isn't important anymore. I know that all focus is on Europa. But people saying, oh, people shouldn't be annoyed that Man United have lost the Premier League game. The league means nothing. We still have the right to be annoyed. We still have the right to be frustrated because where have the standards gone? Yes, the Premier League means nothing, but there are fans saying we can't be annoyed about it because the Premier League means nothing anymore. We're focused on Europa. But what if we don't win Europa and we look at these last 6 games where we were absolutely, just out of it? I don't think we were atrocious. I thought we started this game well. I thought we ended this game well, but the bit in the middle we were atrocious and Brentford could have scored 6. Look, there was no Bruno today. We had a young squad. Brentford targeted the young squad. There were some good performances. Garnacho was good. Ugarte was good. It was very much the same old. United were decent, and then we conceded a silly goal. Bayendier is not good enough, and I've told you a million times he's not better than Onana, and I know Onana needed to be dropped, but I told you I'm not convinced by Bayendier. He definitely should have saved one, arguably 2 of those today. His positioning was poor. His kicks were poor. The 16 losses this season is not good enough. I know that there is nothing to play for in the Premier League. I get that. I know. But fans are saying, Alice, why do you care? Why do you care? Look, because if we're playing poor in the Premier League, it doesn't give me confidence going into Europa League final against Spurs, who are Premier League opposition. The Spurs might not be very good, but we are poor against Premier League opposition. Spurs have beaten us 3 times this season. I want to see more. I don't like 16 losses. I don't like that if West Ham get a result against us, we could finish 17th this season, and the only reason we're not getting relegated is because the promoted sides were so off it. It's not good enough for Manchester United. I'm not fuming. I'm not, oh my God, screaming, shouting, annoyed. It's a young player. It's a young squad. We didn't have Bruno. It's the 3rd youngest squad fielded in Premier League history. I absolutely get that. And we saw Ahmed goals. We saw Garnacho goals. The last 10 minutes, we sort of saved the game. I'm happy we saw Cheeto start. I'm happy with a lot of things. But we can't just disregard these last 6 games and say it's not worrying. I am worried from these last 6 games. Now, this isn't me taking a dig at Amorim. I think Amorim is the right guy. I'm just worried with the lack of quality we have. Now, if we solve that in the transfer window, it's absolutely fine. There's been links to Mbeumo, there's been links to Cunha. Boom. And we can solve these issues in the transfer window. What not? Whatever. Hopefully we will. But there is a lack of quality in the squad, and it is concerning. Now, anyway, I'm going to get into what we learned from Manchester United 2-1 Brentford, and rant sort of over. But Manchester United have now gone 6 games in the Premier League without a win for the first time since December 2015 under Louis van Gaal. Just zoomed in there. That's worrying. They've now just won 3 of the last 22 away games against London sides. The only games we've basically won in the Premier League this season is the Leicesters, the Ipswich is in the Southampton. So if we take away our results versus Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton, we'd have 23 points in the league this season. 23. The lack of quality is concerning. Right now, 23 points would put us 1 point above Ipswich. Just saying. Anyway, let's continue on into my notes. Mount and Garnacho goals is good because that's confidence going into the Europa League. To get the goals, to get the slight comeback, confidence going into the Europa League. I thought Ugarte was good. Ugarte's got a lot of criticism lately, but I thought it was very good today. I think we really lacked physically today, and his presence was very much needed in the midfield. When Eriksen came on, he was a ghost. He basically disintegrated. I thought him and Garnacho stepped up today. I think both of them had good games. They were running. They were doing what was needed. The lack of experience and physicality cost us today. Brentford were targeting the box. Harry Amas had a decent game. Fredrickson, I'm not going to be critical of him, but you could see they were targeting the box because they knew Amas and Fredrickson in the air. They're not going to be the most physically dominant. They targeted that and took advantage of our lack of physicality to get the goals. Well, I think we could have defended better for those goals. And I think Brentford targeted us. And that's what you'd expect of Brentford. They were very good. They got the quality in the final third. They put some really good crosses in. Yeah. I thought the ref was shocking. I think he gave Brentford so many soft fouls. Garnacho got a yellow for I don't really know what reason. Obi didn't do anything wrong, and then he gave a free kick against Obi near the end. I thought the ref was shocking, and he was giving everything Brentford's way. That's not to make an excuse. We weren't good enough, but I do think the ref was absolutely shocking. And look, the Ligt thing, it's annoying. It happens. You'd want us to play on if the opposition went down. But what I'm going to say is, if Manchester United scored a goal and a Brentford player was down calling for the ref to stop play, we'd have been getting Sky Sports segments about it. We'd have been getting multiple Sky Sports segments about it. There won't be any Sky Sports segments about De Ligt being down and Brentford. They'll be saying Brentford were right to carry on. It wasn't a head injury, which is fair enough. But I'm just saying, if Manchester United had scored a goal like that, they'd be saying it was a disgrace and they'd be saying it was a joke, and they'll be saying that Man United should have stopped playing, the goal should have been ruled out, because the media are hypocrites when it comes to Manchester United. There were too many bad moments, despite good play. I thought the first 20 minutes was good. I thought we were 1-0 up. I thought we were playing really well. I thought we were lucky that it was 1-1. It was a silly error. And then we crashed. Look, there was no Bruno, and I'm glad Bruno was rested, but life without Bruno is scary. But 6 games without a win. There was no Bruno. It was a young side. I didn't expect to win. I'm glad that it was only a 1-goal margin. It wasn't a 3-goal margin. Glad that Ahmad scored. But it is concerning how bad we are in the league. Now, obviously, a few signings will help this, but it is concerning. You know how we won the FA Cup under Ten Hag, and we were like, keep Ten Hag, and kind of ignored all the issues we had in the Premier League last season with Ten Hag. You've got to look at the Europa League and say we're ignoring the Premier League, but winning the Europa League doesn't fix that. I like Amorim. I think with the right signings, Amorim will succeed. I think we've been very unlucky in games where we've drew that I actually think we deserve to win, and I think our XG can show that. But what I'm saying is we can't just ignore the Premier League and just be like Europa League. We do have to look back at these Premier League games with concern. And I think a lot of people are like, whatever, Premier League doesn't matter, we're going to win the Europa League. Winning the Europa League still doesn't change the fact that we've been atrocious in the Premier League. And a few summer signings, hopefully will change that. But we need to go into next season remembering that, is what I'm trying to say. Now, Ahmad showed his quality when he came on, fantastic goal. Look, Ligt, it's a shame he got injured. Amas was very technically good on the ball. Maino started well, but I think he dropped off. I don't think he's fully fit yet. I think Maino needs a pre-season because he went to the Euros where he can work on fitness. But I thought Maino in the first 30 minutes was really, really good. But I think the physicality, he just went a bit. Mount, I'm glad he got the goal. Obi didn't get much of the ball, but the ref wasn't giving him anything today. So yeah, look, same game, different game. Start well, concede a soft goal, collapse, get physically dominated, get bullied in the box, fall behind. It's a classic Man United game. 4 goals conceded to Brentford again is a joke, because if we can see 4 goals to Bilbao, we won't make it to the final. You've got to remember that. It was soft. Defence was poor. Bayendier is not it. He should save that second goal. No Ligt, no structure. Injury more worrying than the loss. I'd rather, honestly, I'd rather have lost 5-0 and Ligt be fit than have lost 4-3. I just think we need Ligt for this final run-in. Brentford targeted inexperience, as I said, and we were bullied again at times. Now, there was good moments the last 20 minutes. The first 20 minutes was really good, but in the middle of the game, we were absolutely bullied. And we can't deny that. The way we played, we did get bullied. It wasn't good enough. And I have to say, that player for Brentford, Coyote, baller. I like what I see. I think he's their right back. Big fan. Wasn't super familiar with his game, but I was really impressed by that Coyote guy. This is very good, and Buemo's very good. And look, people, there's a few things I want to talk about. Obviously, here down below, we've Amas. I thought Amas had a good game. Are we lagging? Okay, we're lagging. Oh, great. My Wi-Fi's going. Okay. Hopefully, the quality isn't shocking for you guys watching. But look, I thought Amas was technically really good. I thought Garnacho with a few of the had a really good game, goal assist. Ahmad was good. I thought the youth, for the most part, was good. Ahmad now has 10 goals and 17 assists in just 26.5 full 90s this season, while playing mostly at right wing back this season at 22. Just shows what Ahmad's output could be with a full season of fitness. He was very good today. 1 chance created, 1 goal, 5 dribbles, 5 out of 8 dribbles, 1. It's good to have Ahmad back. But I wanted to have a little conversation about Garnacho. I thought Garnacho had a very good game today. Obviously, Innovas versus Brentford, 5 chances created. I think he could have got 2 assists today, actually. Thought he did well. 1 goal, 1 assist. I think Garnacho these last 5-6 games has looked a lot better. One thing I've noticed is he started to put a few good crosses in, and his decision-making looks a lot better. And this is what I said about Garnacho, which a few people won't like me for saying this, but I did say 21 goals and assists this season for Garnacho at age 20. In a poor United side, unstable environment is impressive. Okay, I know a lot of these assists haven't come against the best sides, but he's our most dangerous player in most games this season. His decision-making has massively improved. He's not shooting as much. He's looking up to pass. Could have had 7 or 8 assists in the last few games. He's raw. He's wasteful. He misses big chances. He's frustrating. Garnacho probably frustrates me more than any player in this Manchester United squad, because he does so well to get into so many dangerous areas and make so many good runs, and then he fluffs the shot, and it's so frustrating. But if we had a good team and good players and good attackers that actually score goal, Garnacho's misses wouldn't be as much of a negative. And I think he offers something unique. I think he's direct. I think he's fast. I think the second half of the season we're better and more threatening when he is on the pitch. But he's nowhere near the finished article. And even in an underwhelming season, I can still see Garnacho's quality and potential, which is why I don't understand why he's being written off. 20 years of age, I think he would benefit from being behind Cunha, having his minutes managed, coming off the bench, developing. 20 years of age, and I think we have an over-reliance on him and to play every minute of every game and save us. I look at Garnacho, I look at his attributes. I think that there's a very good player in Garnacho. I think he's frustrating. I think he relies on confidence, but I think with better players around him in a better team and a better environment, I think Garnacho can be a good player. And I will stick with that, and I will stay that. I strongly believe in Garnacho. I do, and people won't like me for saying that. Shout out to Ugarte, he had a very good game, physically strong, won his duels. He's got 6 goal contributions in the last 7 games. Ugarte, I thought he did well today. Without Bruno, we're just not as good. Eriksen came on, did nothing, but Bruno's rested. I thought Yoro did well when he came on. You could tell the squad is sort of checked out with the way that we played. We're focused on the Europa League, but I'm glad we sort of came back into it. But performances like that, the 45-minute period at the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half, if we play like that, we aren't going to win the Europa League. And that's where we need to wake up. And of course, key players were missing. But I'm glad that Mount, Garnacho and Ahmad scored for confidence. But the 12 league defeats under Amorim, 16 defeats in the Premier League this season, it is poor where we are in the league, and it is worrying, and it is a concern. And I think, Europa League doesn't cover those cracks. And even Ruben Amorim has said that. Thank you for watching. Bye.